Hi, BrenTech here, where tech is made simple. So a judge has ruled that Google will not have to sell Chrome after the Department of Justice proposed this last year, as you may well know. But as part of the ruling, the court has said that the company will have to change some things about the way it operates. And for this video, I want to focus on the judge ruling that Google can continue to pay other companies, including browser makers like Mozilla, to be their default search engine, because as you may well know, in most regions, Google is the default search engine in Firefox. So that's where I want to focus for the purpose of this video. And if you want more details, I'll leave the court document. I'll leave this link down below in the description if you'd like a little bit more information. So basically what this was all about, just a quick recap. Back in August of 2024, the judge was finding that Google maintains an illegal monopoly in search. And the case was requiring Google to sell off its Chrome browser, which is something that prosecutors had obviously sought after regarding the so-called illegal monopoly. Check this post out for more info if you would be interested. Now getting back to Firefox. Now as per the ruling, Google will no longer be able to, what they are calling, strike up exclusive contracts with companies to default or preload its products, but it may continue to pay or compensate companies like Mozilla Firefox to prefer its services in non-exclusive revenue sharing deals, which I think for Mozilla would have come as a bit of a relief, so to speak. And my reason for saying that is because Google Search, that deal makes up over 85% of Mozilla's annual income. So I think if Mozilla had lost that deal, I think it would have affected the browser and its revenue quite drastically. Now, although this is the case, as you may well know, Google doesn't pay Firefox as much as it used to. And that's because of Firefox's market share that isn't quite what it used to be. And if you have been following my StatCounter desktop browser market share survey results videos, you would have seen that Firefox really, at the end of the day, isn't really moving when it comes to its market share. Now, Mozilla had argued during the case that preventing Google from paying Firefox could have major consequences that might, and I'm quoting, put Firefox out of business. And other software companies and distributors apparently had also shared the same fears. Now, one of the reasons that it was ruled that Google may continue to pay or compensate companies, because without this money, smaller companies, mainly in the browser area and field, would then become less innovative and then, because of this, reduce competition, which would give Google and Chrome, as an example, the complete monopoly. And in regards to this, the judge has said, and I'm quoting, Google will not be barred from making payments or offering other consideration to distribution partners for preloading or placement of Google Search, Chrome, or its Gen AI products, quote unquote. And the judge carried on to say, once again quoting, cutting off payments from Google almost certainly will impose substantial, in some cases crippling, downstream harms to distribution partners, related markets, and consumers. And in regards to that ruling, Google has issued a statement saying the court did recognize that divesting Chrome and Android would have gone beyond the case's focus on search distribution and would have harmed consumers and our partners. And one of those partners, as you may well know, is Mozilla Firefox. And just on a side note, Google's parent company, Alphabet, its shares jumped by 8% after the ruling, which I thought was interesting. Now, for Mozilla and the Firefox web browser, this decision, obviously if it's not appealed, could bring or may bring a certain degree of assurance because its current search deal with Google ends at the end of next year, 2026. So I think funding for Firefox from Google will continue into the foreseeable future. But one thing I think Mozilla and the Firefox web browser need to take into consideration is finding a long-term strategy that helps to reduce its dependence on Google's money and Google's revenue, because, as mentioned, the Google search deal makes up over 85% of Mozilla's annual income. So I think in that area, Mozilla needs to make a plan. What do you guys think? Do you agree with the ruling? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments. And there's more to this case, as mentioned. I'm just focusing mainly on the Firefox side, where obviously Google funds Google search in Firefox. But check this document out if you'd like some more information. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.